Hey, Al Smith here, owner of TrainChange Fitness and inventor of the F2 training system. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a rack hack that brings new life to your old equipment or just gives you some new training ideas. But first, let's talk about how I got here. After 30 plus years of being in the fitness industry, I have now embraced being a fitness minimalist. And having owned a few fitness studios and purchased tons of gym equipment, I realized that one, most of the stuff is all the same. And two, most of it eventually ends up collecting dust or ends up on Craigslist. I sold off all of my large, bulky equipment because it just didn't make sense anymore since I no longer had a studio and since I was no longer doing personal training. I still have a rack in my garage, but it's only being used for testing prototypes like this. All that said, I've designed two new products that'll increase the value of any rack. They are called the F2 floating fulcrums and floating lever arms. They can be used on racks of all sizes without adding ridiculous cost, complexity, or space requirements. The goal was to make equipment light enough so that you can reuse existing barbells as the primary support for your F2 floating fulcrum. If you want to lift heavier weights, you can always use a heavier bar to support the fulcrum. So today, I'm going to take you on a configuration setup with me to demonstrate using this new F2 configuration. I've modified my old hoist rack by drilling holes to support the bar. If your rack already has holes, well then you're good to go. In the interest of time, I'm going to let my AI voice take over from here. So let's go.
To get started with this Setup With Me session, I'll be explaining why the equipment is designed a specific way to provide you with more information to help decide if the F2 training system is right for you. First, F2 floating lever arms are designed with the same innovative principles and parts as the original F2 bench, featuring adjustable, telescoping tubing. This allows you to customize the equipment size based on your height, arm, or leg length, making it highly modular and adaptable to your specific needs. We've also integrated our patented quick change knob or bolt system. I recommend starting with the quick change knobs to easily adjust and find your optimal training positions. Once you're comfortable, secure the parts that don't require further adjustment with bolts. What this allows for is the majority of the F2 parts to be reused with other F2 equipment and configurations. Second, the equipment is constructed from mid-commercial grade steel, offering the perfect balance between maneuverability and strength for moderate resistance workouts. Now let's talk about resistance loading. This equipment is specifically designed for light to medium heavy lifting, making it perfect for both resistance band and free weight training. Like many of you, once I hit 40, my training focus shifted. Instead of chasing personal records, I'm now focused on sustainable, injury-free training that supports long-term health. The F2 floating lever arms are perfect for anyone looking to train consistently, using combinations of high-intensity and progressive resistance training to maintain mobility and overall upper and lower body strength. It also helps stimulate muscle activation and promote healthy hormonal balance through intelligent training and programming. It's all about building strength and longevity without the risk of injury. We'll dive deeper into these important concepts in future videos. But for now, hopefully that's enough to get your mind percolating with new ways to bring your rack back to life or just add more variety to your training with our new F2 floating fulcrums and floating lever arms. In the months ahead, you'll start seeing imitations of this idea. Just like with the F2 adapters, Chain Beast, RT hooks, articulating hip thrust, and lever arms, our competitors can't resist copying great concepts. But here's what sets us apart. All F2 training system pieces are designed to work together, so you can repurpose them as your fitness needs evolve beyond lifting heavy for the sake of lifting heavy. Granted, not everyone is at that point in their fitness journey yet, but for those that are, the F2 system trains both your body and mind, something they can't easily replicate. Are you ready for that next level of fitness? If so, visit f2trainingsystem.com to get started today.